Hi guys, and welcome back to another vlog. So today we're gonna be speaking about my birthing. Is that how you pronounce it? Because I'm Jamaican, so giving birth, my experience giving birth with both of my boys. Yeah. So I'm kind of going to tell you guys how it was with Paige and with Braxton, the difference, comparing them. I got myself a little note here. I've scribbled some note here just so I can have a little bit of a guideline. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by talking about how it all began with Paige first. So with Paige being my eldest, he's 7 now, and with Paige, I remember I actually I started having contractions on the Sunday. I started having contractions on a Sunday afternoon. I remember I went food shopping, heavily pregnant, and I was about 3-4 days overdue. And I remember when I went up to the tills, the shopping assistant, she was like asking me if I was having a boy, because apparently I was carrying like a person who is gonna be having a boy. So I said, yeah, I am. So I guess she was correct. And as soon as I got home, I started to have contractions, and yeah, so I was saying, as soon as I got home, I kind of started to have contractions, very mild, but because it was my first pregnancy, first time going through labor, I wasn't really sure. But I guess me being naive, obviously because I'm overdue, obviously I'm starting labor, so it started to kind of slowly progress, and it got intense, but I was able to manage it quite well. Yeah, so that's how it began with Paige. And then with Braxton now. Braxton, it began on a Monday, and I remember doing the school run. So I went to pick Paige up from school, and before actually picking Paige up from school, a bit of TMI, went to use the toilet. I think I was about 2-3 days overdue, and then I started to have a little bit of, that mucus plug kind of coming away. And yeah, went to pick Paige up from school. I'm very active and I'm going to get on with it. I'm that kind of person. So went to pick him up from school, brought him home, and if I can remember correctly, I was having like little bit of pain, quite, I would say, uncomfortable. I was a bit uncomfortable. It was summer and I was heavy, I was waddling kind of thing. Yeah, so I picked Paige up from school, brought him home, and if you have a child, you gotta bring them home, you gotta give them their little snack after school. Yeah, and I think I actually said I wanted to wash my car because I didn't want the baby to, I didn't want to give birth and have the baby, in a dirty car kind of thing. So I took the car to get it washed, and whilst I left my car being washed, I decided to take Paige to the park. So I took her to the park for about 15-20 minutes, and when I was in the park, trust me, the pain increased. The pain got a lot worse. But me being who I am, I'm going to get on with it. So I was doing that. I was just basically making my son have a good time. Just, I don't know, maybe I knew that the baby was coming, so I was just trying to enjoy, that little bit of extra time with Paige. And yeah, so after that, I went back, picked my car up. But yeah, I was still driving 3 days overdue. Yeah. fit my car up, drove back home, and let me tell you, yeah, when I got home, I had, I think, a few dirty dishes in the sink, and I was trying to wash the dishes, tidying up little bits and bobs. Yeah, so I was trying to wash the dishes in the sink, and like I couldn't stand up anymore. Like, I don't know, like the pressure of the baby's head was extremely intense, so I couldn't stand up. And I couldn't sit down either, so obviously I couldn't stand up at the sink, so obviously I went to go and sit down, and I couldn't sit on my bum. The pressure was just too much, so I was literally like on all fours. And me being crazy, I was having contractions because it was a wave. It was coming and it was going, but it was very, very hard for me to even stand up. Like, it was very intense, like the pressure coming down. Excuse me. Yeah, the pressure coming down. So I remember actually being on a video call with one of my friends, and I was telling her, like, yeah, this is how I feel, because it was different between Paige and Braxton. It was completely different. Yeah, so I kept on trying to clean up with, like, whenever the contractions would stop, I would try to go to finish whatever I'm doing, like washing up and stuff like that. And it was just getting extremely intense, and I was like on all fours because I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand. So the only comfortable, or not comfortable, but the only kind of position that I could be in that wasn't painful was just being on all fours. So after that, yeah, okay, so I think I should go back to Paige now. Oh, I kind of went into contraction, so I'll go into Paige's contraction. With Paige, the contractions kind of increase, but let me say Paige's delivery was very long. Paige's delivery was 3 days, so it was very, very slow, and it was manageable. I kind of managed it okay, I would say. Yeah, as the days went past, I kind of managed it, but I remember being in so much pain on the Monday night that I couldn't sleep, and that was crazy for me because I kind of watched the day turn into night, and then what the night turned into morning, and watched the morning turn into day because I couldn't sleep. I was in pain. And that day I actually went into the hospital, and they checked my cervix, and I was like 3 centimeters dilated, and I don't remember, I think they gave me some kind of painkiller kind of thing, oral painkillers, which didn't really do anything. At the time, Page's dad, yeah, we went back home, and I kind of stayed at home for as long as I could because I didn't want to back and forth. But the pain, literally Tuesday afternoon, the pain went mad. Like with Paige, it became unbearable. Eventually it became, I wouldn't say unbearable, but it was very, very uncomfortable. So I remember starting to be feeling really, really sick, TMI, but I started to actually have diarrhea. But I've heard that it's natural to have that, you know, when you're going into labor. It's like that's the way of your body getting, like, kind of flushing itself and kind of getting your body ready, like, I don't know, but something like that. So I remember having that, and I threw up as well. Like, I didn't throw up throughout my entire pregnancy with Paige, but I actually threw up when I was having contractions with him. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna switch back now to Braxton, going into hospital. Braxton. So yeah, I remember the contractions got so crazy that at the time my partner was at work finishing up, and my brother lives really close to me. So I called my brother, like, listen, you need to come and get Paige, to take Paige to your house, so that, you know, when my partner gets here, you know, we can go to the hospital. But nah, it didn't go that way. The pain went from, I would say, it went from 0 to about 8. Yeah, it went from 0 to about 8 in about 2-3 hours. So when my brother came to pick Paige up, yeah, just know that he actually took me to the hospital as well. Yeah, I went to the hospital. Me being like thinking, you know, because I didn't want to go to the hospital and then have to come back out and all of that. But I actually had all my hospital bags packed in my car, like I would say 3 weeks before I was even due. Like everything was packed in my car. I don't know why I'm putting things in my car like I'm gonna drive to the hospital, you know, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I was thinking like maybe my partner would drive, whatever. But yeah, everything was already packed in my car. So when my brother came to pick Paige up, because Paige was gonna spend the night with him, he took me to the hospital, and believe me, I was in the back of that car screaming. I was screaming because the pain was mad. It was very intense. Okay, so I'm just gonna slightly switch back over to Paige now. I will start here. So in the, I would say with Paige, around 8 o'clock in the night, I was like, yeah, I'm ready, I can't bear this pain anymore. And I was exhausted with Paige because his labor started, like I said, on a Sunday afternoon, and this was the Tuesday, and I haven't slept. I was exhausted, and then yeah, the pain was increasing. So I said, yeah, I'm ready to go. We went in to the hospital, went onto the ward where they kind of examine you and check you to see where you're at in your labor. I remember there was a lady like next door to me. She was screaming, and obviously that's like my first experience, so that completely just kind of scared me. Sorry guys, my lashes is just like annoying me a little bit, you know. So yeah, she was screaming, and I was like, yo, that's what I'm gonna be going through. Like, I was kind of holding my breath, like that's what I'm gonna be going through, this poor lady. I just felt like I just need to embrace myself, and whatever I'm going through now is going to be nothing compared to what I'm going to go through. So that kind of helped me to keep myself together, thinking like whatever I'm going through now is going to be nothing what I'm going to go through, because you always hear that labor pain is absolutely crazy, it's the worst pain ever. So I'm like, I'm bracing myself for it. And I think that's what kind of kept me through all this time at home, because I did majority of my laboring at home. So that's what kept me going. Like, I need to be strong. I need to know that, yeah, it's going to get worse. And if I can't do if I can't handle what I am feeling now, then 100% I won't be able to cope later. So yeah, I went in, and like I said, the lady next door to me, she was literally screaming her head off. And then the midwife came to my room, to my little cubicle, and I was like, oh my god, I feel so bad for that lady, you know, how is she doing? And I asked her, like, you know, like, is she like fully dilated, is she ready to go? And the midwife said no, she's actually like 1 centimeter. But I was like, what? Because like I said earlier on with Paige, when I went in the hospital first, I was 3 centimeters, like, you know. But I do know that there's a lot of people that are 3 centimeters and they don't really have pains and stuff like that. But yeah, that lady was giving her head up. So I'm thinking she's ready to push. So I was extremely calm. Of course I was in pain, but I was handling it quite well. And when they actually checked my cervix, I was 7 centimeters dilated. So they sent me straight up to delivery suite. And it was crazy because I haven't actually said this, but originally I did book in for a water birth, but I was so tired, I couldn't do it. I was like, I need some epidural so I can sleep. I need pain relief so I can sleep, because my concerns were if I don't have the strength to push the baby out when it's time to push, you know, like what's gonna actually happen. So I was like, yeah, forget the water birth. And I remember actually coming up to the lift to go up to the delivery suite and left to the birthing center where I would have a water birth. And I had my friend with me, Audrey at the time, and my son's dad, and we was like, oh, should we go upstairs, should we go that? My son's daddy was like, oh yeah, you should do the water birth. And my friend, she was like, babe, whatever is best for you, you need to do. You need to do whatever comfortable. Obviously, because I've been riding this out for, like, this was like Tuesday night, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I've been riding it out for all those days. I was exhausted, I didn't sleep. So I actually appreciate having that positive voice there saying, you know, do what is best for you. So I was like, yeah, boop, press the elevator button, I'm going upstairs because I need some sleep, you know. So yeah, decided to go up to the delivery suite. And I remember getting up there, telling them that, yeah, I did wanted to go for the epidural. And the thing is, I could have ride the pain out a bit more, but it was just because I was exhausted, like I was so tired. And like I said, my concerns were the way how I felt at the time. I wouldn't be able to push a baby out. Like I felt like I wouldn't have the energy. That was my concern, why I even ended up going for epidural. And the pain did increase a bit, and they gave me like the Gassonet to try, and I tried it. At first I couldn't get the hang of it, but then eventually I did, and I felt like, ooh, you know, I felt yeah, it kind of just takes you over and kind of relax you a bit. And then, like, literally within, I would say within 10 minutes, the I don't know, I don't want to pronounce the word wrong, so let me just say the person who does the epidural, she came and she was like, yeah, let's do it. And to be honest, the Gassonet kind of relaxed me a bit. So even though I was tired, I don't know, I don't know if it makes you hallucinate or whatever it does, but it does kind of like relax you a bit. And I've always said to myself, like, if I didn't if that person who didn't come as quick as she did, I would have probably just stick to the Gassonet. But she came and I was like, yeah, forget it, done, we did it. You know, I don't know if you've ever had it done before, ladies. You know, you sit down on the bed, you hold on to the pillow, you try and stay as still as possible, and yeah, you get it done. And obviously you're still having your contractions when you have to try not to move, because you know it is critical not to move. Like, if you move, yeah, you know, you could end up getting a lot of issues, you know. Yeah, so you have to try your best not to move whilst getting that epidural. The epidural was magical. As soon as it kicked in, I felt nothing. It was magical. I loved it, and this is one of my favorite. Obviously, yes, the pain was gone. I could rest, I could sleep. But one of my favorite part of having the epidural was the fact that I didn't need to go to the toilet, you know, like everything was just like, yeah, you know. I was at the hospital that I was at for Paige's birth was Queen Charlotte in London, and they were amazing. they took very, very good care of me there. So yeah, it's up to that part. Yeah, I spoke about pain relief. And for Braxton now, when my brother picked me up and I got into the car, like I said, I was screaming. Paige was in the car and I tried so hard not to scare him. Well, I thought, like, I don't want to scream, because you know you don't want children to see you scream, cry, or to show any sort of like those kind of emotions. Well, of course I was in labor, I couldn't help it, and it was coming, it was a wave, like, you know. And to be honest, it was a quick drive from my house to the hospital. It was during the night time, so it was less than 10 minutes drive to the hospital. Maybe, yeah, let's say less than 10 minutes. Yeah, so got out the car, kissed Paige bye, got out the car. My brother took him, you know, big up yourself, broski. Took him home, and I really do appreciate having that support. So yeah, got into the hospital. Eventually, you know, managed to walk, because like I said, it's hard for me to even stand up. So I managed to walk myself onto the delivery ward. This time my partner was still sorting himself out to make his way, because everything was happening so quickly. But I don't know if it was happening quickly or if it was just me thinking like, yeah, you know, maybe I'm not, you know, because like I said, like both labor was completely different. So yeah, got into the hospital. If you've ever given birth, ladies, you know that they're gonna check you over. Well, first, you know, obviously give your name and all your information. Then they're gonna check you over. They're gonna do your blood pressure, all of that, check. They're gonna bring you onto the bed. Then eventually a midwife is gonna come and check you. Let me tell you guys, with Braxton, the pain was unbearable. I couldn't bear it. It was extremely painful, and I kept on saying to myself, why is it so painful? Because with Paige, like, I got up to 7 centimeters with him and I was calm. I could have still, you know, you know, obviously because I was tired. My issue with Paige was just being tired, but like I could have still kind of done it. Yeah, but I was like, nah, like I'm struggling. I'm in pain. I can't sit on my bum. I can't stand up. Like, what's going on? Like the pain, the pressure. I was thinking, am I ready to push or something? So when the midwife checked me, I was only 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters. I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe it. How was that possible, that I'm only 4 centimeters with Braxton and I can't bear it? And with Paige, I actually went into the hospital at 7 centimeters. So when they actually brought me into delivery suite, because they saw I was in that much pain. So I guess they believe, like, yeah, I'm obviously 4 centimeters, but things will progress quite quickly with Braxton. So I went in. Eventually they brought me over to the delivery room, and it was crazy because I literally ran up to the bed, jumped on the bed, and I went on all fours. Like, when the contraction came, I ran, jumped onto the bed, and all four, breathe through it. At this point, I can't stand up, I can't sit on my bum, because they did wheel me in on a wheelchair. So I kind of just laid on my side. And the midwife that I had with Braxton was amazing. Was a lovely lady. I think she was from India, and she was one of the senior midwives, and so I was very blessed to have her. She was very, very experienced. So yeah, she was good. So I think the time I got in there was, I would say, after 10 o'clock at night time. And yeah, they started to do all my checks, you know, strap you up, put all the things on your stomach to monitor the baby's heartbeat, you know, monitor you and all of that. So like I said earlier, I left all my bags in my car. Obviously I didn't drive, so I had to call my friend at the time, Diana. I was like, Diana, please, like, I need my bags. Can you please come to the hospital, come get my car keys and just like go to my car, get my bags, because my partner was still not, because he lives in London, he's still not here at the time. But I just thought I need my bags because I'm gonna have the baby. Yeah, so I called her to come. But I have to say, before that, I actually spoke to my auntie in America, Simone, and she did the most beautiful prayer for me. She prayed for me, and you know, she prayed that I would deliver my baby like a Hebrew woman, which I did, you know. So I appreciated that, and yeah, I just had to let you guys know, you need your prayers. You need to have God to cover you, yeah, because we do not walk by flesh alone. Yeah, and we live in a serious world, so you have to stay prayed up. You need it, and you need those people around you who's going to offer those values, or who's going to remember God, who's going to offer you prayers, because you know, offering you anything else in the world is just, you know, I wouldn't say worthless, because I do appreciate everything that is given or offered to me, but you know, it's in being in that situation, you need prayers. So I appreciate that. So yeah, anyway, I called Diana to come with my bags. Diana came, and she was just amazing. She was there, and she was holding my hands, and yeah, this time the pain was biting, the pain was kicking. Yeah, everything was in full gear at this time. I had gas in it, I was pulling on it, yeah. It did the trick to begin with, but then eventually, no, it wasn't. Oh my God, I can just still literally feel it right now. I can literally still feel, I can just feel that whole moment coming back to me. It's so surreal. It's so surreal. I can actually feel that moment, and it's making me a bit emotional. Yeah. It is amazing giving birth and bringing life into this world, and it's something to be cherished, you know. But yeah, I appreciated her being there, holding my hands. Because I can just feel it, like it is happening again. Yeah, so she was there holding my hands, and trust me, I was screaming because it was very painful. Yeah. And the midwife was doing her bit, and her assistant, you know, was doing her bit. And I just remember actually swearing at the midwife, because yeah, and I was like, I'm so sorry, like this is not usually me. I don't swear, like I don't do that, but to adults, you know. But yeah, I don't swear. So, but yeah, it was that painful. Like, just yeah, my manners was out the window. I had no manners, well, for some of the time. So yeah, and maybe I should go on to Paige as well now. So with Paige, my mom was there, and my friend was there, Audrey, like I said, and Audrey was waiting in the waiting room, and then my son's dad and my mom was with me. And so Paige went on until the Wednesday, and I had to sleep during the Tuesday, so that was amazing. Like, yeah, I was like, okay, I'm ready for this. But then I had the epidural, so you know, every time it's kind of wearing off, I was like, nurse, tap me up. Because if you've had epidural, you'll know that it I think it only lasts for about I don't remember exactly, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's like less than an hour. Like, it's not like it's there constantly. It does wear off, but sometimes it will wear off on one side of the body, and the other side of the body will still be quite numb. Like, you will have feelings on one side but no feelings on the other side. And I was like, yeah, nurse, tap me up. but like they do try to not give you any epidural when it comes closer to the time that you're going to deliver. But I do felt like the epidural kind of slowed things down for me, because like I said, when I went into labor with Paige, when I went into the hospital with Paige, I was 7 centimeters, and it took a long time for me to get to. It took a good few hours until the following day, and I think the time I went in with Paige, I don't remember exactly. I think I said before, but yeah, I don't want to say the wrong timing. But it was in the night time. I would say maybe it was between 8 and 9, around that, if I can remember correctly. Yeah. And it did take until the next day for me to literally, you know, get to the fully 10 centimeters with Paige. It's just amazing, like thinking about bringing your babies into the world. Yeah. So I remember the next morning came, and the midwife checked me with Paige, and I was 10 centimeters. So I said to myself, oh my god, I'm gonna be a mom now. It's time to push. I'm gonna actually have a baby. And my mom was there, and Paige's dad was there, and I remember everyone was like, oh, because obviously I had the epidural, so I wasn't screaming, but it's crazy because I could feel pain on my left side but not on my right, so I could feel the contractions coming on my left. So that's when I knew when to push. And at this time, the nurses, the midwives have swapped over. The night midwife, she went off, and the day one she started, and she was absolutely amazing. Yeah. So it was time to push, and boy did I push. I pushed. Paige was not coming out. I did all that I could. The midwife was trying every trick she knew. She actually she held the towel, and she told me to hold, like she made like a rolly thing with the towel, and then she held like one side of it, and then she told me to hold the other side. And as I push, I need to pull the towel, and she was pulling as well. So bless her, like I knew that took all of her strength. So I was pulling the towel, and she was, as I pushed down, she was pulling, and like Paige was not coming out. That was a good, I swear I'm not lying, that was a good hour and 20 minutes to hour and 30 minutes. I pushed, and at one point I swear the midwife, she was tired, so she stopped. But obviously me, I know I need to get this baby out, so I was still trying to push this baby out, and it wasn't coming out. So I don't know what happened, because of course I am giving birth, I've got all of this going on, but at some point the midwife, she pressed the emergency bell, and then I saw lots of staff running into the room. So I think the baby's heartbeat, Paige's heartbeat must have dropped. So it's like, yeah, we need to get this baby out now, because it's been too long. I was literally pushing for about an hour and a half, hour 20 minutes to an hour and a half. So at this point it was like no playing games. My mom was videoing. They told her switch the phone off. Yeah, let's get this baby out. So we had a doctor, I would say, came in, and it was like, yeah, forceps, cut, forceps. So you know what, I've always thought, you know, nobody wants to do epidural. They want to be able to do it all naturally, but at that point I would have had to get epidural anyway, because they had to cut you. Well, I don't know actually, maybe it would have just been like they just numb me to cut me, maybe not, but yeah, anyway, they cut me, put the forceps, do all of that. And that was such a weird feeling, like having the forceps like yanking, like you literally feel all that pressure. Actually, yeah, they did top up my epidural so that they could cut me, because of course that just, you don't feel anything with the epidural. Yeah, so they were like pulling the baby, and I could literally feel all that tugging and pulling, and I literally thought like take time with my baby, you know. And the head, he pulled his head out, And for all my moms out there that knows that feeling of when the baby's head is out and then the midwife is telling you hold it, that you know, don't push, because you know they don't want you to do any further damage. Just wait for that next contraction to finish, push the baby out. I remember that, yeah, you definitely do feel that pressure. Yeah, so I held it and pushed when it was time to push. Oh my god. And then I was a mom, my baby was here, and Paige weighed 8 pounds 9 ounces. He was a big boy, and yeah, my life changed forever. Paige was here. Sorry about that. Yeah, Paige was here, and yeah, that's how I became a mom for the first time. And delivery with Braxton now, I think I left off that I was Diana was with me, and she was holding my hands, and yeah. Yeah, so Diana was helping me out. And like I said, I was like, I actually need somebody who is a midwife, you know, but yeah, I did apologize as well. Yeah, so yeah, Braxton was intense. It was intense. I couldn't bear it. I thought, no way. And it's not even, like I said, it's not even the fact that I had epidural with Paige, because I went into the hospital with Paige at 7 centimeters, and with Braxton I was only 4 centimeters. So like, even when the midwife checked me in the delivery suite, I was still 4 centimeters, like nothing changed. And I was like this is impossible. I'm 4 centimeters, and like the pain is off the chart with me. Like, I can't bear this. If you remember what I said earlier, I went into the hospital with Paige at 3 centimeters and I went back home. And at 4 centimeters with Braxton, like, I thought, nah, I'm ready. Like, nah. So where am I now? Yeah, so the contractions was coming. I tried to suck on that gas in there. Eventually I threw it away because I was like, forget this. And my partner came, and I remember looking at him like, babe, I'm like, babe, I can't, babe. And he was looking at me like, oh my god, like the look in his eyes was just crazy. The way how he looked at me, he genuinely wanted to cry as well. Bless him. And I remember saying to the midwife, nah, I need epidural. Nah, like, give me epidural right now, because I cannot do this. And then she was like, oh, you know, you're moving around a bit too much. Like, you can't even stay still. And your contractions are so close together that there's no way we can actually give you epidural, because you will not be able to sit still. But I think that was her way of just trying to be nice, because I know she was not even gonna bother even try to call for anyone to give me no epidural. She was like, yeah, this is happening, you're gonna go through it. But obviously she's not gonna say that. They're just gonna try and be nice about it. So she's like, yeah, you know, we can't do it, give it to you, sort of thing. I was like, listen, I need something now, because I can't do this. Like, I'm gonna die. I need something to help me. So she got some kind of painkiller. She kind of injected it in my thigh. Obviously that is nothing in labor. Like, that's not gonna do nothing in it. That's like when you have like a bad pain for something else, but that's not gonna, or maybe at the beginning or something, because I'm literally in active labor now. Everything's happening. So yeah. And then my water broke, and before that I remember the midwife saying, as soon as your water breaks, everything's gonna happen. My water breaks, and everything started happening. This was literally 1 o'clock, my water break, and the midwife checked me, I was 10 centimeter, and I swear down, like I said, I went to hospital like 10 o'clock, and by 1 my waters broke on their own. And when she checked me, like I said, I was 10, ready to push. I don't know for what reasons they had to cut me again, so she had to inject something so I wouldn't feel the cut. And then it was time for me to push to bring my baby out. But before all that, I just remember my partner being there, holding my legs up, like just doing everything that they had to do. When my water broke, obviously that just was just a TMI for the gentlemen that will watch this, you know. But prepare yourselves for being there for your partner, because yeah, it does get quite messy. You know, so you know, Diana and my partner, they were there. They helped the midwife to lift me up, to change the pads under the bed, just to put clean pads there. And yeah, it was time to push. And guys, I have to say, I didn't push more than 5 times and Braxton was here. I barely pushed, and you know, I barely pushed. I pushed. His head was out, and I remember them saying his head is out, and it was just unbelievable, because you know, you carry this baby for 9 months and it's just unbelievable that it's actually happening, that you're giving birth. And just a few more, like another minute, and the rest of him was out. It was that quick, it was that easy. Yeah, and then I was a mom of two boys, you know, and the feeling of giving birth was just, the feeling is surreal. It's just amazing carrying a baby for all that time. And it's amazing, well, firstly finding out that you're pregnant and kind of processing the thought that you're going to be a mom, and then processing the thought again you're going to be a, you know, different occasion, that you're going to be a mom of 2, and carrying your pregnancy, going through everything, going through all your midwife's appointment, going through your hospital appointments and your scans, everything. I also forgot to mention that with Braxton I had like a heavy bleeding. I didn't have anything with Paige. With Paige, everything was just normal. I had a massive heavy bleeding with Braxton, and it was quite heavy. I actually thought that I lost him, and this was at 13 weeks pregnant. And I was just like, God, there's no way you could let me carry this baby up to 13 weeks and you take him, you know, like, no. But yes, he's here. And everything was fine, like, you know, whatever it was. They couldn't really say exactly why that bleeding happened, but it did, and he's here. Yeah, so after giving birth, I remember just holding him for the first time, looking at him for the first time, and yeah, immediately, you know, you have that bond with your baby. And I was just ready to just be a mom of 2, and I stayed because it happened early. Braxton was born first thing in the morning, so we stayed over until the following day. But we could have got out that same day, but it was very, very busy because it was summertime, and apparently there was like lots of babies being born around that time, so we didn't have the pediatrician to just go check the baby over. So we had to spend 1 night in the hospital. So Brax was born on a Tuesday and we got out on the Wednesday. Yeah, and I came home with my little papa, and it was sunny, it was hot, and that was amazing. You know, giving birth during the summertime, it's amazing. Like, you can go out with your kids and stuff. And I remember before it came out, Paige, my auntie Felina, shout out for you for being there as well. Felina is amazing. She was meant to be my birthing partner, but somehow she couldn't. She drove all the way from Manchester, and before all of this, you know, she asked me to be my birthing partner. I was, of course, like, because I was her birthing partner for my cousin like 15-16 years ago. which I appreciated. I think I actually asked her if I could be there, and she said yes as well. And that was amazing. That was my first ever time even being around that kind of environment and having that experience. So she was my birthing partner, but for some reason they had some kind of road issue, so she got diverted, and ended up getting to me a little bit later than she planned. But she came in literally as they were stitching me up. But yeah, she came and she took Paige to school for me, and she brought Paige to meet Braxton for the very first time, which was amazing. And Paige fell in love immediately, and my auntie Felina just did the most for me. She took Paige to school, picked him up, cooked my dinner, helped me out with Braxton, did everything for me. Like, I appreciate you so much. Like, she was just like, yeah, doing all of that for me. So I thank you. I thank her. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you and I love you for that. And my auntie Rosie, she came, you know, see the babe. Auntie Rosie's amazing. She's my auntie. Love her. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know if I missed anything out, but if you do have any questions, just go ahead and put that in the comment section. And I actually want to do a video with Diana, just to ask her from her perspective, because obviously me, I'm laying on the bed doing it, you know, just to ask her from her perspective, you know, what she thought about it and what was happening and stuff like that. But yeah, that's as much as I can remember at the moment. But I'm sure when I do the other video eventually, that you guys will get more, you know, into more details about that. Yeah, but that's literally my birthing experience with both my boys. So bringing both my amazing boys into this world that God has blessed me with. I'm not planning on having any more children, so I am cherishing all these moments, and that's why I even get emotional, because yeah, it's just such a blessing. And yeah, I do appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope you got to the end, and if you have, please leave a comment, like this video, share this video, and share it to your friends that are expecting, share it to your husbands that are expecting, because yeah, you need to know what to kind of expect as well. And you need to know that you're going to be lifting legs, you're going to be helping the midwife, you're going to have to be hands-on, you're going to have to be doing all of that. It's not just about watching the baby come out. You're going to actually need to do it, whether it's rubbing your lady, her legs, you know, soothing her in whatever way that is possible. Yeah, you're gonna need to support her. Yeah, and just to say to my mums that are expecting, you can do it. There's gonna be a time where you're gonna say, yeah, I can't. But at that point when you say you can't do it, that's the point when it's not long to go. The baby's coming, like not long to go, just a little bit more, tiny little bit more, and yeah, it's over. But yeah, thanks for watching again, guys. Do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.